Hello, this is Jess, and this is chat session number 124, March 4th, 2018, Sunday evening, about 11:40 p.m. So we're cutting this one down to the wire to have it in by before midnight. So we're going to get on with the chat session now. We're going to go right into the tidbits of history. 1933, FDR is inaugurated. He was the last president that was not inaugurated in January, and he carried out major reforms through his presidency, and he was also, I believe, one of the only presidents to serve 3 terms. During his tenure as president, he endured the Great Depression and also World War II. I watched a couple of specials on the Roosevelts, and it's quite a story. He was set in his ways. He did a lot of things that most people wouldn't be able to pull off today. He was very rarely photographed in his the disease, that took over his body, where he couldn't, walk and stuff and do things. He fought all that the whole time as he was running the presidency, and he was pretty effective in his negotiations and different things, even though he had a life-enduring illness, and he had a lot of willpower, I guess. There's a lot I could say about this, but just wanted to throw that out on this day. He was inaugurated as in his first presidency, his first 4 years. Anyway, okay, on with this chat session now. The reports of the big thing after the school shooting, and the gun people are on fire, and the people that are against guns are on fire, and it looks like nothing's going to change because nobody can put down their hatred enough to have any kind of meaningful negotiations with the people that oppose their views. So it's just at a standstill as normal for our government when it comes to big money being affected, and of course the NRA lobbying and paying off all our people that represent us state by state in our government. They're being bought, and it's just a big, there's something flying around on me. I don't know what it is, but anyway, I hope it's off me. But it's a crying shame that something as important as the safety of our children in our school systems, where they can have all these grown-ups running around and they're getting paid off to go against what's right and correct for the children. And I guess blame lies in everywhere. We can all blame each other and say this is why, but you have this organization, the NRA. They're relentless on their pursuit to validate any kind of reasoning to have weapons, to not step on the toes of good American citizens by saying, hey, you can't buy this rifle or gun if you're not 21. They're fighting everything tooth and nail, and they're buying off these congressmen, and the congressmen and senators are changing their votes due to the pressure from this lobbying group. It's a shame, and I would be ashamed to be any of these people that are on the take in this crisis that should be of concern to most people that live in this country. Big money's stalling any kind of momentum and push forward for stuff that makes sense. Not trying to disarm anybody. You already got them in your grandfather, and you have the weapons, blah, 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 but they just need to quit making them available. If you got them, you got them. And those, all them special weapons that they make that people say, oh, it's my right, Second Amendment to have it. And I think they all need to grow up. I think that they, how much firepower does a person need? I guess you can say, well, as much as I want. Yeah, go ahead and go get them, but eventually it's going to have to change. And the stuff of falling behind Second Amendment is fine to a point. I'm not against guns. I care less. I never saw a gun get up and shoot somebody. There was always a person behind it. So I'm not blaming guns. I'm not blaming the ability by the Second Amendment to own guns. I'm not saying any of that's bad. I'm just saying that in the normal course of a day, what could be the purpose of some of these weapons in your home? Do you really need them? I mean, if the government goes crazy and they come storming in your house, you're going to pull them on all them guys that are trained. You're going to fight back and shoot and, have a big fight, gun battle. Probably not. So it's just a ridiculous assumption that because they're trying to make it a little more difficult to acquire a weapon, that all of a sudden everyone's taking their guns away, and it's just a crock of crap. And I'd be ashamed if I was any of those politicians that are making their decisions on how much money they're going to get paid by the NRA or by any other gun advocate organization that's out there. But the NRA is the main one. You say, yeah, they shouldn't change the age because the guy that's 19 that wants to go hunting, why should he be denied that? Well, a guy that's 19 wants to go buy a beer, but he can't, because you got to use your head, you got to use common sense. And if the issue of, they serve in the military at 18, well, change the age of the military then. Bring everything in line instead of finding out all the reasons why you shouldn't do something that's actually a productive move towards common sense safety. Is there lunatics and they can go and they can get a gun off the street, sure. But if you make it harder for them to buy them legally, then at least they got to work to get the gun. You're not going to stop them from getting it. If they're crazy enough to get it, they're going to want to do harm with it, they're going to get it and do harm with it. And you can make every law in the world against it, but they're still going to disregard it if they're that bent on going to shoot people. So quit saying, oh, we can just make more laws. No, we have plenty of laws already on the books for guns. And look what it's getting us. Kids being shot, drills in school because they got a plan for somebody walking in there with a gun and start shooting people. I mean, that's so ridiculous. I'm just glad my kids are out of school. I don't know, just deal with it. But for all those parents that have kids in school, you better start dealing with it, because it's lives at stake, and people are being killed. So yeah, there has to be some kind of common sense, middle ground approach to this issue. Now, the people on the far right are going to hate it, the people on the far left are going to hate it, but there has to be some kind of compromise. Just saying, this hate versus hate crap that we have going on throughout our society needs to cease. How about kindness versus hate? We need to get some of that going. I think that it's all on how we view things, and everything's not hopeless. It's just out of whack because we have people that are making our legislative rules and laws and different things are being bought by the companies that want their agendas passed. So the more money they have, the better chance their agenda is going to pass. So they throw it out there on all them people that are making all the rules. And they're walking out of there rich as can be when they get done in their office. And while the people like me just have to sit here and hear their bullshit legislation that they passed and how good it is for the country, and it was really only good for their pocketbook. So I'm just losing a lot of faith in these people that are running around saying how good they're going to do things for our country, and all they're racing for is that dollar bill to fall in their pocket so they can have nice stuff while they're screwing the country with their bot votes. Just my opinion. This is Jess. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Have a great Sunday evening. Bye.